the unboxing of all my controls that I have set up here. So that's kind of what I want to use that time for tonight. And playing some League of Legends or something like that, relaxing. So that's kind of my plan there. Thank you guys who are tuning in live. Let's go ahead and run an episode intro and cut together another episode. Should we get a third cut out of this? At least, if not a fourth.
Cuneo hit tower. Icon ready for takeoff. Runway 22.
Icon, cleared for immediate departure.
Hey, John. I didn't know you had the morning shift.
You bet, Lieutenant. You got students waiting for you when you get back?
Affirmative. Icon out.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Microsoft Flight. This is episode 3, or at least part 3 that I'm cutting out of the live stream today. SimGamer TV's Sunday afternoon simulation, as it is right now. It's SimGamer TV's Sunday afternoon something or other, depending on what I'm actually doing. But this is part 3 of the simulation using Microsoft Flight with the new control cam. Hi Jazz Hands. We have a control cam here with all the actual controls, hardware controls I have set up for this particular simulation. We are playing the marvelous game Microsoft Flight. Check in the description below. For where to get a hold of this, since it's no longer available in the Microsoft Store. One of my regular live stream viewers did some research and found out how to get a hold of this game. If you are interested in playing, it's pretty cool. Today, or in this episode, I mean, for people who are tuning in, this is a weird hybrid format. For people who are tuning in live, it's the same day. But for people who are watching episodes, this is a different day. In this episode, we're going to get introduced to a new airplane, which is the Stearman, the Boeing PT-17 Stearman. This was a World War II trainer airplane with a 2-seat configuration, forward and back, to train new Air Force pilots how to basically fly a fighter plane and be successful in their missions and stuff. So we're going to learn all about this new aircraft in this episode. We're going to go select mission, get this thing going. Just loading up here.
You ready to fly the Stearman?
Yep.
Let's do a quick walk around before we go.
Okay.
The Boeing PT-17 Stearman was used as a military trainer throughout World War II. After the war, thousands of surplus Stearmans were sold into the civilian market. Many of these were converted for use as crop dusters, a few of which are still operational around the islands. Others are in the hands of aircraft aficionados and airshow performers. The Stearman's great flying qualities, good looks, and open cockpit have made it a true classic. You ready to give it a go? Climb on up.
I think this is the first time we get to do some walk around, first person style.
Take a look around. You'll see that the panel is fairly simple.
Yep.
Pilots use a checklist to help them remember all the steps required to safely operate an aircraft. Go ahead and bring up the checklist.
Checklist
You
with
can
the Q
manually
key.
perform the checklist, run the checklist automatically, or skip it completely. Since we don't have a lot of time in this aircraft, I'll run through the checklist with you and help you out with the steps. Here's the engine start checklist. Brakes, apply and hold. Throttle open to 1/2. Mixture to full rich. Okay, ignition on. Battery goes on. Starter on. And we have ignition.
So this is the first time that we're actually going to be able to use the propeller and mixture advances. Throttle to
Throttle
zero.
back to 800 RPM. Oil pressure looks good. Propeller control. High RPM.
That's full forward.
Alternator and radios on. Brakes released.
Okay.
Notice how hard it is to see over the nose when on the ground? You can look over the side to get a better view. Great. Taxi to the runway. Add a little throttle to get us moving. Go easy on the brakes in a tail dragger like the Stearman. The tail can come up and flip the plane, so stay aware of that during the takeoff and landing.
So I'm using both the rudder and the brake to help navigate us to this runway here. There we go. More like it.
Stop here and I'll run through the before takeoff checks.
Let's go ahead and throttle back. Go ahead and stop.
Elevator trim set.
So I'm holding the brakes
Mixture is
with my
full
feet.
rich. Prop RPM to full.
RPM to full.
Altimeter is correct. Oil pressure and engine temp good. Looks good. Taxi onto the runway and I'll walk you through the takeoff.
Got a little punch of throttle there.
When lined up and ready, slowly add full throttle.
Here we go.
The tail will rise on its own, and a little up elevator will have us flying at around 60 knots. And we're off. Pitch to climb out at 80 miles per hour or about 70 knots. We'll climb straight out to 500 feet and then do a little sightseeing.
I need to pitch forward a bit to get my speed up. And since I have to
500
apply...
feet. Level out and maintain this altitude.
Alright.
Set the throttle for cruise at 85% or 22 inches on the manifold pressure. I'll pull the propeller back to 1900 RPM.
I'm having to apply forward pressure on the elevator here, so I'm actually going to trim.
Trim the nose down as our speed increases.
Yep.
Elevator trim sets the aircraft's pitch for specific airspeed. Trim down or up until the aircraft flies hands-off at the desired attitude.
Where's my altitude? There it is.
I see a cruise ship coming into port. Let's make our way out there to get a better look.
And this is another plane that would actually traditionally has a joystick. But, you know, flight yoke is fine. Keep having to apply forward pressure, so I'm going to keep trimming a little bit here and there. Rudder's pretty neutral.
That's a big ship. Why don't you circle it to get a better view? Yeah, here's where the Stearman really shines. It's a nice, docile airplane with an open cockpit that lets you really enjoy the scenery.
So we could actually fly around this thing for days.
Now that we're over water, feel free to put the plane through its paces so you get a good feel for its flight characteristics.
Fly around and get a feel for the aircraft. I'm flying around and looking at a cruise ship. All right. Pull her into a climb here. Trim.
When you're ready, start heading back inland to the entrance of the Wailuku River. We'll follow the river to Rainbow Falls. That should set us up nicely for landing.
And we'll go ahead and get ourselves set for level flight again. Once again, applying trim since I had to keep having to push on the stick. Like they said, once you get your plane correctly trimmed out for a particular altitude.
If you enjoy flying the Stearman, you could fly some sightseeing jobs or fly an aerobatic routine at the local air show.
You should be able to fly pretty much hands off. Plane will fly itself once you get everything nice and trimmed and leveled out. Just taking a look at any comments going on over there. Gmod's asking if I'd play Fallout 4 at some point. Yeah, I might play Fallout 4. I don't know if I do it on a stream or not, but because that, you know, those kind of games are really, really long form types of games. Yeah, where's the airport that we're looking for anyway? Oh, it's over there. Okay.
See the bridges crossing the river? We'll follow the river to the falls. When flying sightseeing tours, always fly to the right or the left of the landmark so the passengers get a good view. Let's fly to the right of the river so we can circle the falls to the left when we get there.
All right. I'll try and turn without losing too much altitude. So there's the falls over there, 1 nautical mile.
Circle the falls to the left, and then we'll start looking for the airport. We want to start heading back. Rainbow Falls is 80 feet tall and ends in a natural pool surrounded by wild ginger.
That's cool.
Straight ahead is Lakahi Park. Use the park as a reference to line up with runway 03. Look for the track and several baseball diamonds.
Runway 03, which means the runway is at a compass heading of 30 degrees. And this is the Stearman. I mean, it's a pretty simple
Getting a perfect landing in a tail dragger
plane.
is a little more difficult than in a tricycle gear aircraft. Landing hard on the main gear pushes the tail down. If you're carrying too much airspeed, this results in a bounce, or 2, or 3. So make sure you're nice and slow with a nose-high attitude before touching down. This is called the 3-point landing because all the wheels touch at nearly the same time.
There's runway 3. Almost to Lokahi
See
Park.
runway 03 to your left. Go ahead and start turning left to line us up for landing. Time for before landing check. Mixture to rich.
Yep.
Prop RPM to full.
Yep.
For the landing, our approach speed should be about 75 miles per hour or 65 knots. It can be hard to see the runway over the nose on the approach. Some pilots make S-turns to keep the runway in sight, or you can just look over the edge of the cockpit. We're right of centerline.
This thing is tough to land. My speed is too high. There we go.
Hey, nice landing.
A little bit of toe brake, not too much.
Turn left at the next taxiway.
Okay, I can get my hands off of that now. Just go ahead and apply the brakes and let us coast on down the runway here. So I did not reset the clock for that last episode. Okay, here we go.
Taxi back to the hangar.
I'm going to use a top-down view for this. Okay, so this way.
Some pilots will make S-turns while they taxi to keep a good view out front.
I'm a hang out the left side of the window kind of guy. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So this started at 121 and is now 209. Or no, that's an hour and 21 minute stream time. I did not start my timer. I have a timer right here and I forgot to start it so I can know when my stupid episode's gone long enough. Oh well. Alright, we can cross the center line and go ahead and look out the other side. Whoa. Not too much. A little bit of taxiing going on here to get ourselves back to parking. Ah.
Go ahead and park it in front of the hangar.
This is so much easier with rudder pedals, I have to say. I can put the brake on one wheel and just spin the plane. It's just stuff you can't do if you don't have the right controls for it.
Great. Stop here.
Alright.
I'll run through the engine shutdown checklist.
Oh, my arse!
Throttle idle.
Mm-hmm.
Prop to low RPM. Ignition goes off. As the engine quits, move the throttle to full. Electrics and battery off.
There we have it. Introduction to the Stearman.
Great flight. If you want to come back and fly some sightseeing flights, check the job board.
Yeah. Oh, so close to level 4. I think it might be time for a free flight. Jobs board. Like cargo. All this stuff is locked. I'm looking around the jobs board. So one of the things you can do are these jobs. I guess maybe I'm just not going to be able to get them. I'm looking for the $100 hamburger job. Reach level 3. This is basically fly from one place to another for a hamburger. This will be our sort of full flight cycle. And now that we've actually checked out on the Stearman, we could fly that one, or we could use the Icon. So where do they want to go to now? They want to go to fly from to Waimea. Waimea Kohala. And it's that one right there. I wonder if there are any shorter flights. Here we go. This one's shorter. And I believe it's also to the same place. Yes, it is to the same place. So we'll go ahead and grab this one in this episode here. I'm pretty well. Let me see how we're doing on time. Actually, we've had almost exactly 20 minutes for that particular mission, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up episode 3 right here. Thanks for watching the episodes. If you're tuning in live, stick around. We're going to keep on going here, doing some of the stuff. Maybe I'll do this particular flight off camera and then do the, do this particular flight with the people that are on the live stream. And then that would make me level 4. I also want to know what missions I have available. Yeah, I can't do any more missions until I get another flight done. I can either do some landing challenges or other things like that, but I'll do that kind of stuff off camera. So I'm going to wrap up episode 2 here. If you like what you're seeing, especially if you like the control cam, leave a like, leave a comment. I really like interacting with my people online with comments. I get to do it all day long in the live stream. But your comments are important too if you're watching this in episode form. So make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the control cam that I have set up. And especially my favorite plaid pajamas for my Sunday off. Tune in next time when we, looks like the next mission is to get introduced to another new airplane, which is the RV-6. And this plane is actually really quite a dream to fly. So definitely tune into episode 4 for the RV-6 flight. If you want to catch me live on either this or the other games I like to play on my Sunday afternoon simulation, tune in at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So on Sundays, to be perfectly specific. And this is episode 3 where I've introduced the lovely control cam. Shows the actual controls I use for the simulation, since I'll be doing different things with different pieces of hardware for different games as they come out. Something a little bit unique that I have not seen on YouTube yet. So hopefully I can make, a lot of people get a chance to see this kind of thing. Which reminds me, if you like what you're seeing and you want your friends to see it as well, share the video. You guys are the ones that are going to be doing the best at kind of helping me promote my channel. It has been growing slowly, and all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate everyone